Welcome to the big finals of Quick IQ Dusra. We've had 10 weeks of intense online battles, at the end of which we have 5 participants out of hundreds of thousands who tried their luck at the online stages. And now it's down to 5 people who will vie for the top berth at Quick IQ Dusra. Before we find out who the champion is and what's in stake for them, a quick look back at Quick IQ Season 1, at the end of which Shobhajit Mitra from Kolkata won the big prize, the champion of Quick IQ Season 1. He quite enjoyed his trip to London. He went to Lord's, watched a historic test match, and had a good time there.
PhD student from Kolkata blitzed his way to win this. Shobhajit Mitra, well done. The 1974 season, where the England team toured England, became known in some circles as the Summer of Dash.
42.
And why is it 42?
India got out for 42.
But the first ever winner of Quick IQ, Shobhajit Mitra with 135 points. What a performance, Shobhajit.
It has indeed been a dream coming true to be at the so-called Mecca or the home of cricket, and it is a memorable test match for as far as the Indian team is concerned. A historic victory, no doubt about it.
The first ever winner of Quick IQ, Shobhajit Mitra.
And the winners of Quick IQ Dusra will also have a lot to talk about at the end of this round. The winner of this round of Quick IQ Dusra will take home worth rupees 1 lakhs of vouchers. The person who comes second gets rupees 50,000 worth of vouchers. Third, fourth and fifth all win 25,000 rupees worth of vouchers. So there's lots to play for. It's great that they've got this far, but there's still a lot to play for. Let's meet the participants then. We first have Abhishek N, who was one of the participants in the first season of Quick IQ as well. He came close to making the final. Abhishek, are you going to have better luck this time around?
I'm not really sure, Nitin, because the other participants are quite challenging as well. So let's see. Let's hope everything goes right today.
All the best to you, Abhishek. Abhishek, of course, works in the banking industry in Bangalore. We have another representative from the banking industry, and that's Divyanshu, who's our second participant. Hi, Divyanshu. How does it feel to be in the big hot seat at Quick IQ Dusra?
It feels great. Saturday morning only cricket can wake me up this early. So feels great to be a part of this Quick IQ quiz.
All the very best to you, Divyanshu. Participant number 3, probably another person who's not used to waking up early. Gokula Shivram. He is an engineering student from REC Trichy, and those engineers tend to keep late nights and late mornings. He's up today on Saturday. How are you feeling, Shivram?
Yeah, feeling great, feeling excited.
Feeling excited. All the best to you. We also have Jijo John, who's the winner of the first power play of Quick IQ Dusra. So he got off to a good start in this competition, but now it's even Steven between the 5 finalists. How does it be here, Jijo?
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit nervous. This is the first time I'm doing something online like this. Otherwise, it's just not that much high-level quizzing as such. So.
All the best to you, Jijo. The idea of Quick IQ is to throw it open to people like you, not necessarily just the experts, but to all cricket fans out there. And the 5th cricket fan who joins us today is Karthik, who works in the software industry in Bangalore. Good morning, Karthik. How does it feel to be here?
It's quite amazing. I feel a little nervous actually. Yeah.
Right, lots of nervous energy amongst all the participants. It promises to be an interesting round of quizzing. I look forward to it. I hope all of you do. Let's get straight into action, starting with round 1. The rules are coming up on your screen right now. The first round at the finals of Quick IQ Dusra, it's called Straight Bat. It's a famous format. We used it in the first season of Quick IQ as well. 2 direct questions for every participant. The questions will be general. There will be cricket questions. Questions do not pass, so these are direct questions. There are 10 points to be made for every correct answer. There are no negatives for wrong answers. So there are 20 points to be made if they are great. But we also have an interesting twist to the rules. We have the idea power play, which is used only in the first round of Quick IQ Dusra and the straight bat round. The idea power play will give participants an optional choice to go double or quick on any one of the 2 questions. The power play can be activated after hearing any one of the 2 questions. And on the power play, if you get it right, you get a bonus of 10 points. So that's 20 points for getting a question right on the power play. However, there's a minus 10 for getting it wrong on the power play. So the 30 points to be made in this round, but potentially minus 10 as well. There's a maximum of one power play question per participant. It looks quite exciting. Let's get started then. Abhishek, are you ready for the first question?
Yeah, Nitin.
Right, let's get this party started. The
Yes.
first question for Abhishek, the first question of the finals for Quick IQ Dusra coming up now. Kevin Peterson tweeted recently, I've seen 5-0 a few times before. It's not the end of the world. To whom was the tweet addressed and what was the context?
I was tweeting about Germany beating Brazil in the semi-final.
That's absolutely correct. So Abhishek has got off to a good start here at the final of Quick IQ Dusra. Abhishek, you could have taken a power play if you were confident about that.
Yeah, I just forgot.
Okay, it happens at times, even the best of cricketers, the cricket team sometimes forget to take the power play. So, Abhishek off to a good start nevertheless. Moving on, the second question to Divyanshu. Divyanshu, your question coming up now. Which cricketer had a customized car license plate number 405-98 as reference to the number of tests he played and the number of wickets he captured in them?
What was the license number? 40?
405-98. So 405-98.
This would be. Can I? Cowdray?
First of all, did you say you want to use the power play for this question?
Yes, I want to use the power play.
And you're going for Cowdray?
Cowdray.
That's the wrong answer. Colin Cowdray. I don't think he took too many wickets. The answer is Curtly Ambrose, who picked up 405 wickets in 98 test matches. The car license plate to commemorate the effort. Unfortunate there, Divyanshu, not the best use of the power play. You back yourself a minus 10, but there's a long way to go in this quiz. And like all the teams, you have to bounce back from a poor power play. We move on then to Shivram. Shivram, your first question. Which controversial cricketer who made the headlines in 2001 created a sensation back in 1975 when, as captain of a team, he dropped himself from the test team since he wasn't scoring enough runs?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, which controversial cricketer, he made the headlines in 2001, so you probably heard about him in 2001, but he also created a sensation back in 1975 when he was the captain of a team, but he dropped himself before a test match because he wasn't scoring enough runs.
Boycott?
Sorry?
Jeffrey Boycott?
I'm afraid that's not the correct answer, Shivram. The answer is Mike Dennis, who was captain back in 1975, dropped himself, became famous in 2001 after that controversial test match where he suspended and fined a number of Indian cricketers, even accused Sachin Tendulkar of tampering with the ball. So that was as match referee in 2001, which is what he's more famously known for. So Shivram not yet off the mark. We move on to Jito then. Jito, your first question. It's a very simple question. How was Brian Lara dismissed in his final international innings? It was played in the 2007 World Cup. Time's running out, Jijo. Do you have an answer? I'm afraid I can't give you any more time, Jijo. The answer, of course, was that Brian Lara was run out in his final international innings. It was against England, West Indies' final league match in the 2007 World Cup. Okay, so the final question of the first round of Quick IQ Dusra goes to Karthik. Karthik, your question. Which current cricketer recently revealed that he was the classmate of the pop idol Rihanna in school before moving on to Dulwich College on a sports scholarship? Karthik, the question is to you. And
Svihana, right?
Yeah.
It's Chris Jordan.
That's correct. Chris Jordan is the correct answer. So Karthik is off to a good start at the final of Quick IQ Doosra as well. Again, he didn't go for the power play probably because he wasn't 100% confident about the answer, but nevertheless a good start. We have one more set of questions for all of you, and we'll go in the same order, starting with Abhishek. Abhishek, your second question at the finals of Quick IQ Doosra coming up now. In the recent Zimbabwe Tri Series, Faf du Plessis fell just short of scoring hundreds in 3 consecutive ODIs. Name the South African player who went one better and nearly ended up with 400s in 4 ODIs. He was left on 97 in the fourth knock.
Yeah, I'll go for the power play, Nitin.
Very confident that he's not waiting for me to complete the question. So Abhishek takes the power play, and your answer is?
Herschel Gibbs.
Herschel Gibbs is the correct answer. So Abhishek has got himself 20 points. He's got a maximum possible 30 out of the first round. Well played, Abhishek. Herschel Gibbs was the right answer. He was stranded on 97 in his
Against Bangladesh.
after scoring hundreds in the three previous ODI innings. So
Yeah.
very well played there by Abhishek. Good start to Quick IQ Doosra final for you. Lots of catching up for the others, starting with Divyanshu. Divyanshu, your second question coming up now. Which well-known spinner wrote in his autobiography that after dismissing his childhood hero Victor Trumper in a club match, he felt like the boy who had killed the dove?
Is it a cricketer called? Sorry, is it a cricketer, right? You are asking?
Yes.
Bailey.
Pardon?
Bailey.
Arthur Bailey is the correct answer. So Divyanshu gets back to 0 after scoring a -10 for the first question. Moving on to Shivram. Shivram, your second question coming up now. Abdul Rahman Bukatir, the man behind cricket in Sharjah, introduced which new venue for cricket in a country without any cricketing past by organizing a tri-series between Pakistan, South Africa and Sri Lanka in 2002?
Is it in Netherlands?
I'm looking for a country and a city, and your answer?
Netherlands?
I'm afraid
Amsterdam?
not the right answer. I heard Netherlands. Netherlands is not the right answer, and they of course did have a cricketing history before 2002. The answer is Tangiers in Morocco, which hasn't really hosted any international cricket since then either. But they had a tri-series back then, 2002, when tri-series were happening all over the place. So Shivram misses out there. He stays on 0 at after both his questions in the first round. Moving on to Jijo then. Jijo, your question.
Yeah, Nitin, I can hear you.
Your question coming up now. Among non-Asians, which bowler has taken the most wickets in ODI cricket?
Most wickets in what? I didn't hear the last part.
In ODI cricket, amongst non-Asian bowlers,
Non-Asians.
which bowler has taken the most wickets in the history of ODI cricket?
Power play?
Yes?
Walsh?
I'm afraid Courtney Walsh is not the right answer. I expected you to go for Glenn McGrath. Lots of people tend to go for Glenn McGrath, but McGrath is also not the right answer. The correct answer is Sean Pollock, who had 393 wickets behind Mutaya Muralitharan, Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus and Chaminda Vas were all from Asia. So Sean Pollock is 5th on the all-time list and the first non-Asian. So it's unfortunate that you've got yourself a -10 by going for the power play. Courtney Walsh probably got more wickets in Test cricket than he did in ODIs, but unfortunately not the right answer. So going on to the last participant then for the last question of round 1. Karthik, your second question coming up now. New York Yankees recently posted a picture before their game against the Kansas City Royal with which of their star players posing alongside Sachin Tendulkar?
Can you just repeat the question?
The New York Yankees, the baseball team, recently posted a picture on Twitter before their game against Kansas City Royal. They had one of their star players posing alongside Sachin Tendulkar in that picture. I want you to name that New York Yankees player who was posing alongside Sachin Tendulkar, a big superstar in his own right.
It was that Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter is the right answer. Karthik gets himself another 10 points. Very well played there. Why didn't you take the power play, Karthik? Why didn't you take the power play this time? You weren't confident about Derek Jeter?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I mean, I was a little confused whether it's Jeter or not. I didn't want to take risk there.
Nevertheless, a good start for Karthik there. We had a very interesting start to the final of Click IQ Dusra. We'll take a look at the scores now. We're off to a flying start at Click IQ Dusra. It's Abhishek N who has done all the running in the first round. He made good use of the power play. He has 30 points on the board, a maximum of 30 points. He didn't quite cut it in Click IQ Season 1, but he's making up for lost time at Click IQ Dusra. Hot on his trail is Karthik, our software engineer from Bangalore. He has 20 points. Divyanshu Srivastava and Shivram did not quite manage to open their account in the first round. And Vijo John, who made poor use of the power play, is at minus 10. There are 3 more exciting rounds in front of us. There's enough time for all these people to catch up, and there's enough time also for Abhishek to open up a big lead. We go into the second round of the finals of Click IQ Dusra. The rules are coming up on your screen right now. Round 2 is the third umpire. It's a repeat again of what we had in Click IQ Season 1. 2 visuals will be shown on screen. Each participant has to answer 2 direct questions based on the visuals for 10 points each. If they get both correct, they get a bonus question worth of further 10 points. Questions do not pass. There are going to be 20 seconds per visual. The rules are fairly straightforward. We'll start off once again with Abhishek. Abhishek, your visuals are coming up now. Identify the 2 gentlemen on the slide.
The one on the right is Intika Balam.
And the one on the left?
The left must be
Time is running out, Abhishek.
Gul Mohammed.
I'm afraid, Abhishek, you're wrong on both counts there. That's Nazar Mohammed on the left, and the man on the right is Nazar Mohammad's son, Mudassar Nazar. I agree, he does look a lot like Intika Balam. The bonus question, if you had got those right, would have been what was the distinction that this father-son duo held in the history of Indo-Pak cricket? And the answer is that these were the first 2 Pakistanis to carry their bat through an inning, and they both did it against India. So that's an interesting, a fairly momentous achievement by that family. Unfortunately, no points there for Abhishek in the second round. We move on then to Divyanshu. Divyanshu, your visuals for third umpire coming up on your screen now. Simple to that. 2 gentlemen on your screen, Divyanshu. Identify them for me.
It's Paulie Umrigar on the right.
Okay, and the player on the left?
Yeah, I've already given you a player on the right. I'm trying to guess.
Okay, time is up, Divyanshu. There's quite a lot of time there for you to take a shot at the player on the left. You are right, Paulie Umrigar is the player on the right. The player on the left is, of course, Vinu Mankat. So you get 10 points there for getting Paulie Umrigar right. And we move on to participant number 3, that's Shivram. Shivram, are you ready for your visuals?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Your visual coming up on your screen now. There you go, 2 cricketers on your screen.
Okay, it's Alex Tudor on the right.
Yeah?
Alex Tudor on the right.
Yes, and the player on the left, please. Can you give me the name of the player on the left? Another 5 seconds for you, Shivram.
Okay, fine. Is it Deepak Patel?
Deepak Patel is correct. Just in the nick of time, Shivram has got himself another 10 points, which now makes him eligible for the bonus question. What unfortunate batting achievement in Test cricket connects these 2 gentlemen?
Okay.
Both of these are, of course, bowlers, so that we're talking about a batting achievement here. Another 5 seconds for you, Shivram. I'm afraid time is up. So Shivram did well to get the two visuals right, but he's not managed to get the bonus 10 points. The answer is that both these bowlers have a highest score of 99 in Test cricket. Alex Tudor, of course, famously did that as a night watchman. Deepak Patel also managed to get a score of 99. It's very unfortunate if you go up to 99 and then can't get 100, but that's how it turned out for both Deepak Patel and Alex Tudor. So well played there, Shivram. Hard luck with the bonus. We're moving on to Jijo. Jijo, are you ready for your visual?
Yes, yes.
Your visual coming up on the screen now. There you go. Two gentlemen on your screen. One of them a mug shot, the other one playing a shot.
Right is Gillespie.
Okay, and the player on the left.
No.
I'm afraid then you're not eligible for the bonus. The player on the left is Tony Mann, who played for Australia back in the 70s. The distinction connecting these two is that both these were night watchmen who scored hundreds. And of course, Gillespie famously scored a double hundred in what then turned out to be his last Test match. He didn't get to play again for Australia. Got a double hundred against Bangladesh. Jijo gets 10 points there for guessing Jason Gillespie correctly. We move on to a final participant. Karthik, are you ready for your visual?
Yeah, yeah.
It's coming up on your screen now. Identify these two players, Karthik.
The player on the right side is Maninder Singh.
Okay, and the player on the left? Another 5 seconds for you, Karthik. I'm afraid time is up. I can tell you that the player on the left is Ian McKiff. Karthik, for no further points, will you be able to tell me what connects these two players? I'm afraid no luck there. Ian McKiff and Maninder Singh famously the last wickets in the two tight Test matches. The two tight Test matches. Ian McKiff was run out by Joe Solomon, famous picture that we've all seen. And then Maninder Singh, LBW, Greg Ritchie at Chennai in the second tight Test. So that's what connects those two. Karthik gets himself 10 points, and that brings us to the end of round 2. We'll have a quick look at the scores. Right at the end of the second round, some interesting developments there. Abhishek is still stuck on 30 points. He couldn't quite make the move in the second round. Shivram made a bit of a comeback there after scoring 0 in the first round, 20 points. Karthik has got 10 points, so he's abreast with Abhishek at the top. Divyanshu has 10 points. Jijo is yet to open his account. So the third round of Cricket IQ Dusra is Take the Challenge. This again is a famous format that we trialed in season 1. Each participant gets to challenge one of the other participants on a particular topic of his choice, chosen from a grid. There will be 2 questions per topic, one for the challenge and one for the challenger. There are 20 seconds to answer a question, 10 points for every correct answer, and the winner of a challenge gets a bonus of 10 points. However, if the challenge ends in a tie where both get it correct or both get it wrong, then there is no bonus. And each topic can be chosen only once. Each participant can be challenged only once. I'm going to start this round with Abhishek. Abhishek, the grid will come up on your screen shortly. Let me know who you want to challenge and what your topic of choice is.
Okay.
There you go, Bodyline Series, cricket at the SCG, cricketers representing 2 countries, World Cup 87, Champions League T20, Spinning a Yarn, Bizarre Dismissals, Kapil Dev, Legends of Women's Cricket. Abhishek, your choice.
Yeah, I'll go with cricketers representing 2 nations.
Cricketers representing 2 nations, and you would like to challenge whom?
Shivram.
Alright, then first challenge has been thrown by Abhishek to Shivram. The topic is cricketers who have represented 2 nations. Shivram, your question coming up now. Which cricketer authored a memoir called Calypso Kiwi? in reference to the two teams he played international cricket for?
Repeat the question, please.
Which cricketer authored a memoir called Calypso Kiri in reference to the two teams he played international cricket for?
Roger Tours.
Roger Tours is not the right answer. The answer is Sammy Gillen, who the wicketkeeper who was born in Trinidad. He ended up keeping wickets for both West Indies and then New Zealand, interestingly against West Indies in his final test match. So unfortunate there, Shivram hasn't managed to quite take up the challenge. Abhishek, it comes back to you and you have a chance to make 20 points here. Name the England wicketkeeper who has also played for Papua New Guinea.
This is Jalen Jones.
That's correct. Jalen Jones, the Ashes hero from 2005, who then turned up for Papua New Guinea in the World T20 qualifiers recently. So that's an interesting trip for Jalen Jones. And Abhishek has done well there to pick up 20 points. Well done, Abhishek. We move on then to Divyanshu. Divyanshu?
Yeah, I have a question for Karthik.
Divyanshu is challenging Karthik. And what is the topic of your choice?
Women in cricket.
Women in cricket. It is... so Divyanshu has challenged Karthik. The topic is Legends of Women's Cricket. Karthik, your question on women's cricket coming up now. Which cricketer became the first woman to be included in the coveted list of Wisden's 5 cricketers of the year in 2009? I need an answer, Karthik.
No, can you just repeat the question again?
Which cricketer became the first woman to be included in the coveted list of Wisden's 5 cricketers of the year in 2009? You have 5 more seconds, Karthik. That's it. Time's up, Karthik. Unfortunately, you haven't managed to make full use of this challenge. So the question now goes back to Divyanshu. Your question, Divyanshu. Which cricketer is the leading run scorer among Indian women in Test cricket and the only one to have scored over 1,000 runs for India?
Mithali Raj?
I'm afraid Mithali Raj is not the answer. Sandhya Agarwal is the answer I was looking for. She's the only Indian cricketer with over 1,000 Test runs. And Karthik, the answer to your question was Sarah Taylor. Sarah Taylor was the first woman to be included in the coveted list of Wisden's 5 cricketers of the year. It happened in 2009. So, not quite enough knowledge about women's cricket out there. Both the challenger and the challenge missing out on a chance to go forward. We're moving on to Shivram then. Shivram, your topics are on your screen.
Yeah.
Which topic do you want to pick?
I would like to challenge Jijo.
Alright, and the topic of your choice?
World Cup 1987.
World Cup 1987 it is. Shivram has extended the challenge to Jijo. Jijo, your question on World Cup 1987 is coming up in a moment. In the semi-final game between Australia and Pakistan in World Cup 1987, which batsman took 18 runs in the last over, which then turned out to be the winning margin for Australia?
Steve-O?
Steve-O it is. Jijo has got himself 10 points there. Well played, Jijo. And the pressure's right back on Shivram, who now has to make sure he gets this right, otherwise he's going to concede 10 more points. Shivram, are you ready for your question?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Which English spinner ran through the Indian middle order in the semi-final between England and India as India lost by 35 runs?
Derek Underwood.
Sorry, it's not Derek Underwood. I think this was well past their times. The answer is Eddie Hemmings, who more famously got clouted for 4 sixes by Kapil Dev in a test match much later at Lords when India were looking to avoid the follow-on. So he's out on his 10 points there and ends up conceding a bonus of 10 points to Jijo. Interesting choice there, Shivram. 1987 World Cup, probably a little before your times. But I guess lots of these topics are, from ancient cricket. So a bit of a smile there for Shivram. He's missed out on a scoring opportunity. It moves on to Jijo, who is riding the wave right now. He's just made 20 points. What's the topic you want to choose, Jijo?
Kapil Dev.
Kapil Dev it is. And who would you like to challenge? You can challenge either Abhishek or Divyanshu.
Sorry?
You can challenge either Abhishek or Divyanshu. Who do you want to challenge?
Divyanshu.
Jijo has thrown the challenge to Divyanshu. The topic is Kapil Dev, the legend of Kapil Dev. Here we go then. Divyanshu, your question coming up now. Whose record did Kapil Dev surpass when he became the highest wicket taker for India in Test cricket?
This would be the England player Richard Hadley.
No, the question was whose record for the highest wicket taker for India?
For India.
Yeah.
For India, it would be Bishan Bedi.
Bishan Bedi is absolutely right. Divyanshu has got himself 10 points from the archives there. Well played, Divyanshu. The challenge goes back then to Jijo. Pressure is on you, Jijo. You need to get 10 points here, otherwise, you know what happens. You just benefited from it yourself. So here we go. This is your question. Question number 2. At which venue did Kapil Dev score his 8th and final Test 100? It was a memorable 129 in the losing cause.
Melbourne.
Melbourne's not the right answer. Jijo, I'm afraid you've not got points there, and Divyanshu has got himself 20. The correct answer is Port Elizabeth in South Africa. Famously, South Africa's first Test win upon readmission into the Test fold. Kapil Dev scored a valiant 100 in that final innings, but India was never going to win that Test match. So that's the way it goes. We move on then to Karthik. Karthik, the only person you can challenge is Abhishek. And what is the topic of your choice?
Bizarre dismissals.
Bizarre dismissals it is for Karthik. Abhishek, your question on bizarre dismissals coming up now. Alright.
Yeah.
In the 2005 Faisalabad Test match, Inzamam ul Haq was run out in a comical and controversial style. Happens a lot with Inzamam. But this particular dismissal happened when he was taking evasive action to avoid being hit by a sharp shy at the stumps. Who was the fielder who threw the ball at the stump?
Was it Stuart Clark?
I'm afraid Stuart Clark is not the answer. The answer I was looking for was Steve Harmison, which happened in a test match between England and Pakistan in Faisalabad. So, unfortunate there. No points to you, Abhishek. But Karthik gets a chance there to pick up 20 points if he gets this answer right on bizarre dismissals. The question. Kevin Peterson was once out in bizarre fashion against the West Indies when he was struck by a bouncer. His helmet dislodged from his head and fell over the stumps at Old Trafford in 2007. Who was the bowler? Very comical dismissal. You might have seen it on YouTube. You should check it out after the quiz if you haven't. But I need an answer now. Who was the bowler?
It was against West Indies, right?
That's correct. I can give you another. Okay, I'm afraid no points there for Karthik as well. The answer is Wayne Bravo. He bowled an interesting bouncer, hit Peterson's helmet, which then fell off his head and landed on the stumps, and that was the end of Peterson's innings. So nobody getting points on bizarre dismissals there. So it's the end of round 3. We'll take a quick look at the scores before moving on to the final round of Crick IQ. But an interesting challenge round there, at the end of which Abhishek has opened up a bit of a gap right at the top there. He's moved on to 50 points, but Divyanshu and Karthik are both not too far away, 30 points. It's been a reasonably low scoring final so far. Jijo and Shivram are also very much in the running with 20 points. The gap between first and fifth is only 30 points. And all of that can be made up in our last round. It's called Who's That? Let's look at the rules of Who's That in a moment. Each participant gets 3 visuals in Who's That and 3 related clues that all point to one cricketing personality. Answering a visual correctly unlocks a Who's That clue. If the participant can't crack the first clue, he will then get the second visual followed by a second clue. And if he can't get the answer right with the second clue, then he gets a third visual and then a third clue. The aim is to try and find the Who's That answer in as few clues as possible. So there are going to be 3 visuals and 3 clues. There are 10 points for each visual. There are 15 points for cracking the Who's That on clue 1. There are 10 points for cracking the Who's That on clue 2. And 5 points for cracking the Who's That on clue 3. So there are up to 45 points to be made at this round. So that's enough room there for anybody to win this quiz from here. It all points to an interesting time in the slog over. Let's get started on Who's That with Abhishek. Abhishek, are you ready?
Yeah, Nathan.
Your first visual coming up on your screen. There you go. Identify this gentleman.
Mike Hendrick? Not sure.
I'm afraid that's not the correct answer, Abhishek. I can't give you the answer right now, but I could give you this much. Mr. X, who's that answer for you? Mr. X was famously involved in an on-field spat with this gentleman. Can you name Mr. X?
On-field spat with this gentleman, is it?
That's right. You can take a guess. There are no negatives here.
Yeah. Mike Gatting?
Unfortunately, that's not the correct answer. So the first visual and the first clue are out of the way. We move on to the second visual now for Abhishek. It's coming up on your screen now. Name the stadium named after the on your screen.
Okay, Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore.
That's correct. So Abhishek has opened his account with 10 points. He's got the second visual right. That is General Muammar Gaddafi, and the stadium in Lahore is named after him. So the second clue, here it comes, Abhishek. Mr. X achieved the greatest glory for his country and for himself at this ground in 1996. Can you name Mr. X?
In 1996, is it?
That's right.
You want me to name the guy?
That's right. Mr. X achieved the greatest glory for his country and for himself at this ground in 1996.
Okay, Ranatunga winning the World Cup for Sri Lanka.
Arjuna Ranatunga is the correct answer. So that was Mr. X. The Who's That has been cracked by Abhishek on his second attempt, which gives him 10 points. So well played, Abhishek. You now get a chance to answer a third visual, which is coming up on your screen now.
Oh, can I name the first person now?
No, unfortunately, you can't do that now, Abhishek. You've structured the quiz in a way that you need to have got the first clue right at the start. That's the way it goes. But visual 3 is a bit of a sitter on your screen. Identify this gentleman.
Stephen Fleming.
Stephen Fleming is correct, and that gives you another 10 points. The connect between Stephen Fleming and Ranatunga, of course, was that Stephen Fleming, or rather Arjuna Ranatunga, held the record for captaining his side the most number of times in ODI cricket before Stephen Fleming went past him. So if you hadn't guessed Arjuna Ranatunga, I would have given you that clue. But you don't need that now. You've made 30 points and you've moved to a position of comfort. Well played there, Anand.
Yeah, thanks. First one is Ross Emerson, right?
First one is Ross Emerson, but the way it goes, you don't get points for that. Doesn't matter, 30 is still a good haul at the end of this round. Moving on then to Divyanshu. Divyanshu, are you ready for your set of Who's That clues?
Yes, I am.
All the best to you, Divyanshu. Your first visual coming up on your screen now. Identify this gentleman.
Douglas Jardine?
Douglas Jardine is absolutely right. Very well played, Divyanshu. You've got yourself 10 points. And your first clue, a chance to make another 15 points coming up now. Jardine was the last captain to lead his team to an Ashes series win before X. Who is X?
Can you repeat that, please? Douglas was the last?
Douglas Jardine was the last captain to lead his team to an Ashes series before X. So X was the captain of the same team as Douglas Jardine. Douglas Jardine won the Ashes, and then X was the next captain of that team to win the Ashes. The name Mr. X.
Cook. I don't remember the first name. The second name is Cook.
No, I'm afraid it's not Cook. It's definitely not Alistair Cook. Moving on then to your second clue, Divyanshu.
Yeah.
It's coming up on your screen now. Identify this ground. Lots of clues on your screen.
Is this oval?
That is the oval. So Divyanshu gets himself another 10 points for cracking visual number 2. The second clue, Divyanshu. Mr. X set the record for the highest individual score in Test cricket at that time at this ground. Name Mr. X.
Len Hutton.
Len Hutton, it is. So, Divyanshu, very well done. You've got yourself 10 points by cracking the clue on the second attempt. So, well played there. You now get a third visual, which will come up on your screen now. Identify this gentleman.
Jack Hobbs.
Jack Hobbs, it is very well played, very well played there, Divyanshu. You've got yourself 40 points, which is fairly commendable in this round, out of a maximum of 45. Jack Hobbs was the first cricketer from to be knighted for his service in cricket, and Len Hutton was the second. So very well played there, Divyanshu. You've got yourself 40 points. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Moving on to Shivram. Shivram, are you ready for your set of?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Your first visual coming up on your screen now. Identify this person. The crest on the shirt is a bit of a clue there. You want to make a guess, Shivram?
Is it Hadley?
It's not Richard Hadley, I'm afraid. Moving on then, I'm going to give you your clue in any case. Mr. X shared a partnership of 467 runs with the person on your screen. This was then the highest partnership for any wicket in Test cricket. Identify Mr. X. You want to venture a guess, Shivram?
No.
Alright then, moving on to visual number 2. It's coming up on your screen now. Okay, there's an interesting layout, a cricket ground layout that you see on your screen. The question for you, Shivram, is what is the format of cricket that is depicted in this layout? It's not one of the three conventional formats of cricket, it's a different format. But what is the name of this format?
Is it Supermax cricket?
That's correct. It's Super Max cricket. Very well played there, Shivram. You've got off the mark in this round with the second visual. So your clue, the second clue is coming up now. Let's see if you can get yourself another 15 points here. Another 10 points, I must say. Mr. X came up with this format of cricket in the pre-T20 days. Can you name Mr. X?
Martin Crowe?
Martin Crowe is the right answer. So you've managed to get your clue correctly. The second attempt, 10 points for you. And now a third visual for you, Shivram, coming up now. Right, a bit of a sitter. Name this player. Yes, Shivram.
Kim Hughes?
I'm sorry?
Kim Hughes?
That's not Kim Hughes, that's Sir Donald Bradman. we are in a cricket quiz. Shivram is a young boy, so you can probably excuse him for not recognizing a very distinctive image of Donald Bradman shaping to play a lovely cover drive. But Donald Bradman was the answer. Doesn't matter, Shivram, you've got yourself 20 points in this round. Well played to you. Moving on then to Jijo. Jijo, are you ready for your set of visuals?
Yes, yes.
Your first visual is coming up on your screen now. Name this gentleman.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you your first clue in any case. The person in this picture is Mr. X's brother. And this person in your picture scored a memorable 100 in his second test match against Pakistan in 1972-73 after he had already been dropped for the next. Can you name Mr. X?
Greg Chappell?
Reasonably good guess there, considering lots of Chappell brothers, but I'm afraid that's not the correct answer. We're moving on to visual 2. It's coming up on your screen now. Identify this legendary fast bowler. Yes, Jijo. The color of the sweater might give you a bit of a clue. Do you want to venture a guess, Jijo? No, I'm sorry, I didn't get an answer. We'll have to go on to the second clue then. Jijo, it's getting a little difficult for you here. Mr. X shared a crucial 7-wicket partnership of 134 runs in the historic first type test with this fast bowler. Can you name Mr. X?
No.
Afraid, Jijo, we're now going to move on to the visual number 3. You still have a chance to get yourself 15 points out of this. Let's hope for the best. Visual 3 coming up now. Identify this. A controversial personality associated with cricket. The logo in the background is a clue. You want to venture a guess, Jijo?
Name.
Alright, I think time is up for visual number 3. Your third and final clue coming up now, Jijo. Mr. X was appointed by this gentleman on your screen as a consultant and a lead commentator in his well-known venture which revolutionized cricket. Can you name Mr. X?
The World Series thing, right?
That's correct, but I want to know the name of Mr. X. So the question was, Mr. X was appointed by... So Kerry Packer is the person on your screen, but the time has now gone past for you to get points for identifying him. The question now is, Mr. X was appointed by Kerry Packer as a consultant and a lead commentator at the World Series of Cricket. Can you name Mr. X?
Ian Botham?
I'm afraid Ian Botham is not the correct answer. The answer I was looking for was Richie Benaud.
Oh.
So the first visual you saw was John Benaud, Richie's brother, who played 4 tests for Australia. The second visual was Alan Davidson, with whom Richie Benaud shared a famous partnership, 134 runs for the 7th wicket as Australia fought grimly in that test match, which eventually went on to tie. And of course, the third visual was Kerry Packer, the founder of World Series cricket. The single biggest movement that probably revolutionized cricket the most. Richie Benaud was appointed as the consultant and as a lead commentator at World Series cricket. So, no luck there. Jijo, you couldn't quite make an impression in the final round. We're moving on then to our 5th and final participant. It's Karthik. Karthik, are you ready for your set of visuals?
Yeah.
Here we go then. Your first visual is coming up now. Identify this person who's going out to have a bat.
It's Sutcliffe.
Sutcliffe is the right answer. It's Herbert Sutcliffe. That's 10 points to Karthik. Very well played. Your first clue. Mr. X and this player share a unique distinction in Test cricket. Their batting average never dropped below 50 during the course of their career. And we're talking about players who played at least 50 Test matches. Can you name Mr. X? Mr. X and Bert Sutcliffe are the only players for whom the Test average did not drop below 50 during the course of their career. Can you name Mr. X?
It's Miyandar.
Miyandar is the correct answer. 15 points to you, Karthik. You have got yourself off to a great start in this final round. You've got to 25 points already. There are another 20 points to be made. Let's see if you can do that. Your second visual is coming up on your screen now.
Yeah.
Identify this batsman on your screen.
Is it Greenwich?
It is Greenwich. Can you also tell me what the connect question would have been? What connects Gordon Greenwich with Javed Miyandar? So no points.
No.
It doesn't matter. Javed Miyandar and Gordon Greenwich are the only men to have scored 100 in their Test debut and also in their 100 Test match. So well played there, identifying Gordon Greenwich. You're on a bit of a roll there, Karthik. Your third and final visual is coming up now. A chance to make another 10 points, and I think they're going to be 10 decisive points.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the venue where this event happened?
It's is it in Chinnaswamy Stadium? This is
Chinnaswamy Stadium is the correct answer. 10 more points, a full complement of 45 points there to Karthik. It also happens to be the ground where Javed Miyandar played his final match, the famous World Cup quarter-final between India and Pakistan 1996. Karthik, you really made a dent in the scoring charts. Let's see how it all stacks up at the end of Quick IQ Dusra. Right, Abhishek has managed to cling on to that first spot. He did really well in the final round. He finished with 80 points and it managed to be just enough to keep Karthik behind him. Karthik, a bit of a whirlwind ride in the slog over there. He got 45 points in the final round to finish with 75, which takes him just clear of Divyanshu, who's as close to the second place as can be possible. So the top three all separated by 10 points. Abhishek is first, Karthik is second, Divyanshu is third. A bit of breathing room after that. Shivram didn't quite manage to crack it. He's got 40 points. And Zijo John finishes fifth with 20 points on the board. So the champion at Quick IQ Dusra, Abhishek, how does it feel to have won this time around?
Yeah, it's been good actually. I've put in quite a lot of effort participating in the online round, so it feels good. Since I missed the cut to make the final in the first edition.
So what was the one idea, Abhishek, that changed your life in Quick IQ?
What was one idea, is it?
What was the one idea that changed your life in Quick IQ?
One idea? No, it was actually, it was very complex that with online rounds this time, rather than the first edition. This time there was a huge pool of questions. I guess every time I played, I had come up with a different set of questions. So I had to research. Even research didn't help, but I did get a lot of knowledge out of those. But I still feel that I'm still quite a bit away from all the questions.
Well played, Abhishek. Congratulations. The aim of Quick IQ is to try and get people like you to learn more about cricket. So I think we might have met that objective, considering you did a little bit of research. It's all borne good fruit as well. You managed to win Quick IQ Dusra. Congratulations.
Yeah.
how does it feel to fall short by 5 points? It must rankle. You've been so close to winning it and you finished third, which is still very good. But how does it feel at the end of it all?
Yeah, it is a case of being so near yet so far. I mean, ideally, I would have loved to be in the top two, but nevertheless, top three is a try either.
Doesn't matter. Lots of people have tried their hand at KK Dusra. Coming third out of him is quite critical. So well done to you, Divyanshu. And Karthik is the man of the moment who managed to smash a lot of sixes in the slog overs. Karthik, what was going through your mind when you started the final round?
I was like little nervous because I did not do much in the second round. I did not do good. So I was thinking like how the final round would be like. But I managed it very well. It's really nice.
Well played, Karthik, as you didn't quite manage to make points in that second round. If you had, you might have actually won this quiz, but very well played in the final round. 45 points there made all the difference between victory and defeat. Shivram, so you need to do a bit of catching up, don't you? You couldn't identify Donald Bradman. How do you feel about that?
Really funny actually, but it's the first time for me. I'm feeling a bit nervous. So I'll try to come back next time.
Well, nerves get to the best of them. They got to Sir Donald Bradman himself in his final test innings when he got out for 0. 4 runs with a test average of 100. So that's how it works for all of us then. Jijo also doing well there, but not quite managing to quite pull. But very well done. A creditable 5th place to Jijo. And Shivram finishes 4th. Jijo, how was your experience at Quick IQ Dusra?
Yeah, it was very good, but I think I should know more of the visuals thing. When I see some people of yesterday, I'm not able to identify anything. So I think I need to put some effort in the visuals as well.
Well, the winner of Quick IQ Dusra is an example of how efforts can lead to better results next time. So let's see whether you can pull off an Abhishek in your next effort at Quick IQ. Quick IQ, of course, will be back. Before we sign off, a round of applause. Big congratulations to all the winners. Well done, all you guys. It was great fun quizzing with you today.
Yeah.
Right, so Abhishek is our Quick IQ Dusra champion, and that ends another eventful round of Quick IQ. It was a lot of fun bringing you this session of Quick IQ. And as we lead up to one of the most important tournaments in cricket, the World Cup is coming up next year. There's going to be a lot of action on Quick IQ. Please keep coming back to www.quickiq.com to see what's in store. There's going to be a lot of fun on Quick IQ. So there's going to be plenty of action, plenty of cricket, plenty of quizzing, lots of questions, lots of fun. Quick IQ is coming your way once again. Until next time, this is Nitin Sundar signing off. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks.